The reason that we offer non-financial support at Impetus PEF is we think it's crucial to provide charities with more than just funding. If they're actually going to become more impactful and more sustainable, then they need absolutely money, but they also need expert support on those three important components around their social impact strategy, their sustainability and their resilience. And they also can use pro bono expertise from partner organisations to help them with specific projects. There has been some changes made to our non-financial support since we merged in 2013. So prior to the merger, both Impetus Trust and the Private Equity Foundation provided management support, pro bono expertise and money. And the reason for this support was very much focused on growing organisations, particularly growing them quite rapidly, although sustainably. However, during the merger, we thought to ourselves about what do we really want to achieve, and very much we wanted to make sure that the charities we supported became more impactful, so that we could say with a high degree of confidence, and they could say, that they were reliably producing meaningful outcomes for the vast majority of the young people they serve. And to do that, we provide this package that we call the Driving Impact Package, which is very much based around non-financial support to help them become more effective and impactful over time. The sustainability of an organisation and its resilience are things that are really close to the heart of our model. We do spend the majority of our in-house support focused on the impact strategy the organisation makes, and we help them to make some really tough choices around who they're going to serve, to what end and how they're going to do it, and how they're going to manage the progress of every young person they serve through their programmes, and ensure that if their progress isn't being made, that they can course correct and get the young people back on track. So that takes an awfully long time. First to make the decisions, in some ways that's the easy part, but then implementing it takes a great deal of change and organisational oomph to get that done and embedded and moving forward. So a lot of time and effort and resource goes into that. So all the support that's around the social impact strategy of the organisation is generally done in-house. We don't find that there are people in the market that we necessarily want to buy it in from, and that's very different to the support around, say, HR, financial controls, business planning. There's some there are amazing firms out there, both entirely in the private sector and in the voluntary sector, who've built up a great deal of expertise around that, and we can buy that in either actually buy it in or get it in pro bono for our organisations. The way we do it in Impetus PEF in terms of managing the pro bono relationship and that support, we have somebody whose job it is entirely to manage that relationship. So she works with the investment directors to assess the needs that the organisations have, the pro bono needs. She is then able to work with our large network of pro bono potential partners to say, these are the projects we have available now, who'd like to stick their hand up and have a go. And then she meets those people who are keen, make sure we get the right fit, so the right skill set, the right person who's got enough time at the moment to meet those needs, gets that relationship going. We manage that relationship as it goes along, so checking in with both the pro bono partner and the charity to ensure that everyone's happy and that we're working towards a successful conclusion, and then making sure after the project is concluded that it gets implemented, that the charity is able to put in place the recommendations and get the most value out of that project, so it's not just sitting on the shelf afterwards. Two things when you're thinking about how to offer non-financial support as part of your organisation. One, I would say think about whether you want to make it or buy it. Does what you want to offer exist out there already and you want to try and get it in, or are you going to have to create it yourself because it doesn't currently exist? And secondly, once you've decided that answer, codify, write down what you're going to offer. How often are you going to provide this support? How intensively, and how long for? And then once you've got that codification as your version 1.0 of your non-financial support, you can measure it, improve it, create further versions, and hopefully be always improving your non-financial support, just as you hope the organisations that you help are constantly learning and improving. I think the new report from EVPA on non-financial support is actually a great leap forward in terms of it really will encourage organisations to think through their NFS and make it a less ad hoc procedure and a more codified procedure. And I hope people will understand that even if you don't have a very in-depth, long-term NFS plan, it's worth writing it down. It's worth understanding what you're trying to do, how you're going to try and do it, and how you'll know if you've succeeded. Because only by that way can we as a sector learn and improve and stop doing what doesn't help in NFS and do more of what does.